Looking at the Chicago Bears 2025 draft, this was the biggest draft in kind of the Bears' recent history. Like they got the the guy at quarterback in Caleb Williams last year. And he had a good year, even though he was in a really bad Bears team. It didn't help that they had fucking a bad offensive coordinator in the Wizard Waldron. You know, forfeit down, rapid down, all that bullshit. Again, they had a bad head coach, a bad offensive coordinator in fucking the Wizard Waldron and all this bullshit. And they had Matt Eberflus fucking five. Again, this Bears team was 5-10, so they're Ryan Poles again. His neck was on the line more than ever. He had to get weapons. He had to get 4 new starters going into this 2025 draft. He had to address the weapons around Caleb Williams, and he had to address the trenches on the defense side of the ball as well. So it was a big rebuild for the Bears because again, this team fucking was a dumpster fire, and it was they only won 5 games all year, and it was Bears football, but they hired Ben Johnson, which again, good hire, especially if you've got a young quarterback. And then Dennis on that defensive coordinator side of on that defense side of the ball for the Bears. So again, you're looking at this Bears roster. You're looking at this Bears roster, and it's not a bad roster. You have not the best, but again, especially now with the addition they have Roma Dunzio, which again he had an okay season, okay rookie season, Roma Dunzio, but again I think especially with now a better offensive coordinator and a better head coach, I think his numbers are going to do a lot better. You know, receiving yards. He only put up 739 receiving yards. He played 17 games, only missed 1 game all year. But I think definitely he's going to be one. I think this year, 2025, he's going to have a really good year for the Bears, especially for the Bears if he stays healthy. And I think under Ben Johnson, again under him, you're going to see a lot of very aggressive schemes. Again under Ben Johnson's scheme, especially with the Lions when we had him. You know, he emphasized on just putting a lot of pressure on the defense side of the ball and make sure that you keep on your toes, that you don't give them an inch of room, and a very hostile kind of approach, but it worked. And again, he likes to with his tight ends, he likes to have them to utilize them in different formations, different schemes and stuff. So it's kind of like a look at Sam Laporta, and that's kind of what you're going to get here for the Bears. But let's talk about really who they drafted. So the first pick 10th overall, they drafted Colston Loveland, tight end from Michigan. And I'm like, from this tight end class that I've seen, when I saw Colston Loveland's tape, I'm like, I wasn't really too impressed with him. He wasn't really standing out to me. To me, I think they missed something not going for like a Tyler Warren. I think he would have been perfect for a Ben Johnson. I think, but again, I guess if Ryan Poles apparently thinks that Loveland's going to fit the Ben Johnson scheme, I guess. But yeah, at least they're getting a weapon, and again, it's about getting the weapons around Caleb Williams. That's the name of the game, to see what you have with Caleb Williams against. In his rookie year, he had an okay season. We saw flashes of what he could do, but year 2, you're gonna have to see what it's truly all about. And then they had a 2 second-round picks, but they traded away a second-round pick to the Bills. So the other second-round pick they had was Luther Burden III. I scouted him on the channel, so if you haven't seen that, I will have a video somewhere on the screen. And I was really impressed with this. Burden, I think he's going to be great in the Ben Johnson scheme, in his offensive scheme that Ben Johnson plays. I think that's going to be really him and Roma Dunzio. I'm interested to see how those guys. But again, tight end 1 is going to be Colston Loveland. Again, I wasn't too impressed with it, but a Burden and you got Burden and Dunzio as weapons on the wide receiver, I think that's pretty good. Like again, Rome Odunzio, wide receiver. Again, him and Odunzio. That's going to be a good combination with Caleb Williams. And then you have, again, they traded away the second round pick to the Bills, but then they went back up again. They went back up in the second round to go for an offensive tackle. Ozzy Trapilo, Boston College. Now again, at least addressing the issues, but again, Trapilo, was he 24, 20, was he 23, is he 24, 25, something like that. It's been old for a prospect, and really how much you're going to get out of him. But again, it's somebody that's going to protect Caleb Williams. But I wasn't really impressed with that pick, especially when you could have gone, you could have gone for a Tyler Booker or somebody like that. That would have helped. But again, at least it's somebody who's going to be a starter that's going to hopefully protect Caleb Williams. And then this was really random to me, is that Shemar Turner got drafted. They drafted Shemar Turner as a defensive tackle. And I'm like, really? Shemar Turner? I wasn't impressed with him. He didn't really impress me. His pad level was too high. A lot of things that really turned me off about him that I didn't like. But, yeah, when you look at the defensive type, you could have gone for like a Nick Sorton or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Just somebody that was way better and more well-rounded than Shemar Turner. But and then and then they go for then you have Ruben. And then you have Ruben Apoliano, linebacker from Maryland. Again, I was looking at this. I'm like, he's 24 as a prospect. I'm like, to me, Brian Pohl's fucked up here. Brian Pohl's fucked up here, and not getting somebody like Swessinger. Swessinger would have been great in the Dennis Allen system. He would have been great for this Bears team, and they didn't go for it. And then they go for Zach, and then again, going back here, they have Zach Frazier, quarterback, which again they're addressing the additions they need on that defense side of the ball, which is great. And then a couple of other rounds, like you have Luke Newman, offensive tackle from Michigan, and then they go for Kyler Marone in the 7th round. But again, it's like, for running back, I would have knew if I'm the Bears, I wouldn't have gone for Ruben Havelo as my linebacker. Like I said, I would have gone for somebody because he was still on the board. If I remember, like in the 2nd round, I would have gone for like Amari Hampton. He would have been a good fit as well. But I think he went to the Chargers. That's when I think the Bears should have gone for like an Amari Hampton. He would have been another good weapon for this Bears team. On that offense side of the ball, but they went for Kyler Moreno. I don't know how you say it, but yeah, they got him. I don't know if he's gonna play or not, but it is what it is. And then you're looking at Dennis Allen's scheme. Like he plays a 4-3 scheme, so he would have been perfect for a couple of guys that I've mentioned, like Swessinger or somebody like that. Like he plays a lot of 4-3 system. Again, with his defense, he emphasizes more on a man coverage. Going man to man with against the offensive line and the quarterback and stuff like that. And then again, he likes to go for a 4-man rush as well, where he loves to keep pressing the quarterback. To again go for heavy blitz. That's what he likes in his defense. He did that when he was defensive coordinator for the Saints. He did it when he was a head coach for a bit. So he goes. That's his kind of system. So I think. And then again, he's gone on the press coverage. Well, he likes to make sure his defenses do the significant amount of press coverage and they eliminate potential threats on the offensive side of the ball. But overall, for the Bears, again the other guys that I got Jonah Jackson, and again that's okay I guess from polls, but it's whatever. But again, you look at this Bears team and you're like, okay, you've got Donald on right tackle, you have Jonah Jackson, he may play a couple of games this year, and then you could maybe trade him away again next year. Joe Fernie again, guard. He's probably going to be there. He's just going to be one of those guys who has good morale. Because again, he's been with Belichick, he's been with Andy Reid, he's been with fucking, he's been protecting Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady and stuff like that. So again, he's been, he's going to be a good plug and play guy in that offensive line as guard, and he's going to be helping. He'll be a good help for. He'll be a good help for as well. And then you got Drew Dolman, who came in as well. They signed him. And Jonathan Ford on the defensive end. They still have Montez Sweat, I guess, whatever. But running back, again, that's where I think they kind of fucked up on the running back situation. Running back and linebacker, which I wasn't impressed with. There was a lot more linebackers that I would have gone for. Swessinger, Jalen Walker, to just name a few that I would have picked up ahead of what was actually picked for the Bears. But yeah, the NFC North is going to be interesting. An interesting year for the NFC North. It's going to be actually I don't know. Let's see what Ben Johnson and Danny Fallon and see what the Bears team can do.